Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here and express my anger, my massive concerns, and equally I've got to be careful what I say, how I say it, because you can't talk freely online, because you know, with the new online bills, you've really got to be careful what you say, who you accuse, how you accuse, etc., etc. And I know I'm coming back on in an hour to do a live, but this is something different. So I have a question, right? How much more are the people, and I'm not going to say just British people, I'm talking about the good people in this country. How much more are we going to take before something happens? How much more are we willing to put up with at the sake of the elderly, at the sake of the children, and your right for safety, your right to life, your right to live peacefully, or as peacefully as can be, in this country? How much more are we going to accept? Turn our heads. I'm all right, Jack. Not my problem. How much more are we going to put up with before something gets done about this? We have 14-year-old girls. It's just been sent to me and I'm absolutely livid. 14-year-old girls. One girl, 14 years old, in Newcastle, faced with a group of men. I have to be careful what I say here. And these men were not of this country. They didn't come in, you know, the right way. You know, they apparently are leaving war-stricken countries where there is only men coming in, no women, no children. You know what I mean. You know the kind of men who took advantage of her and, you know, sexually took advantage of her, made her read their Bible while doing so, and there was nothing she could do. This is someone's child. This is someone's child. Last year around about this time, I was outside the school in Dover, if you guys remember, and I was live streaming a protest from girls in secondary school who were protesting for their right to their body. They were protesting against being touched, assaulted, and yes, the big S, assaulted. R'd, yes, the big R, you know, come on, you know what I mean? Taken against your will, no longer your body, no longer your choice, by four guys that came over only a year before and got placed in this school. And they were protesting against this. How much more it needs to happen before we find a way to stop this? And at the moment, all I'm seeing is people going, Tommy Robinson's has got this. Katie Hopkins is talking about it. You know, Andrew Bridgen is going to do something about it. They're not going to do anything. They work for the other side. Tommy Robinson is not on your side. Katie Hopkins is not on your side because they support the other side. They support the big Z, okay? Because they've told you time and time again, they stand with Israel. Therefore, they are not there for the people. And the reason I say this is because we can live in peace. Jewish people, Catholic people, Christian people, Muslim people, whatever you are, atheists, agnostics, whatever you are, we are capable of living in peace. We can do this. We've done this before. In fact, Palestine, before it got taken over, was a very peaceful country with Jewish, Christians and Muslims all living together in harmony. Now we have people creating hate and divide amongst cultures, and then extreme groups are formed by who? By the very same people who are allowing these influx of men coming into our country, every country, Europe, just Europe in general. They are allowing this. The same people, okay, are allowing these people to come in. Do you really think that your government couldn't put a stop to this? They don't want to. They want the hate. They want the abuse, the assault, the fear. They want your children being damaged. They want you to be damaged. And all you've got is with people like the main speakers of this movement, the Tommy Robinson. They're taking your money and they're causing hate. They're causing hate because guess what? Most of the Muslim people I've spoken to are very peaceful, loving people. But there's extreme groups formed in everything. Now, last year, when I was at the school recording the girls, there was a woman there who was part of some Green Party. Well, what she was part of was open borders. She supported the open borders. Okay, and she was there to make sure those girls did not say something which went against the open borders narrative. Yeah, because they're trying to stop this. They're trying to be inclusive while allowing all these men to come in and ruin life here. And then you can't say that anything, you can't do anything because you get classed as racist. You know, they try and tell you, statistics say that, you know, high crime and high rape and high gangs has got nothing to do with these men, when actually that's not true, because we know how they manipulate statistics. They've been doing it for a long time, because statistics are only there for the people that fund the statistics. And then we're relying on people like Andrew Bridgen or whoever else to fight for you. And by the time it goes through, that's got to be another 2, 3, 4, 5 years. In that time, how much more are you willing to give up, to watch, to turn your head and go, it's not my problem? How much are we willing to put up with? Before we say enough is enough. I was sent a little a screenshot of a book. I'm not sure which book this is, but it says that demonstrations and letter writing campaigns, petitions and so forth, and elections make not the slightest difference, because all of these are appealing to the better nature of creatures that do not possess a better nature. You're asking your government, please do something. We plead to your better nature when they don't have a nature. They are a corporation. They work for the corporation. They are handled. And things are going to get a lot worse. A lot worse. And now we have ladies, 60-year-old lady, a couple, and she's got stage 4 ovarian cancer, being evicted from her home. And they sent in masses of bully boys. This was a first eviction. I was unable to go. This was the first eviction. Normally with a first eviction, it doesn't take many people there. But she was targeted because she worked as a counsellor for the Medway, I think it was Medway Council or something around there. Now she's got stage 4 ovarian cancer. She's in her 60s and it was flooded with men, big men with no feelings, sticking that we've got a picture, need to make them famous. Find out who these people are. Picture of this guy sticking his middle finger up at the camera because he's there to evict an old lady who has got stage 4 cancer. How much more are we willing to close our eyes to before it comes to you? And it will come to you. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. You could be off grid thinking, I'm done with it. It will come to you. Because right now we have a cancer that has spread so big, so far, that it doesn't matter where you go. It's going to seep into your life, whether you like it or not. So I want to know, I'm a woman. I can't do anything on my own. But together, we have to find a way to stop this. How much more are we going to take? I was in court and watched a case, this is last year, of a girl who got drunk and she bit a policeman's hand and she got quite a lot. I don't remember the sentencing, but she got sentenced for that. She got put on tag for 6 months because the crime was biting a policeman's hand. Yeah, if it was just whoever she was fighting with, it doesn't matter. We have MPs who have security around them 24/7. They are more protected than your children. Your children have less protection than the MPs. How much more are you willing to take? Your children have to ask for permission to go for a pee. In school now, they lock the toilets. They're in a prison. They're being brainwashed because they want all of us to be submissive. They want all of us to accept what's coming, to give up our life, our rights, our freedom, our thoughts, to obey. Are you really going to do that? How much more are we going to put up with this shit? And I want to know, what can we do about it? Because I can't wait for the likes of Andrew Bridgen. I can't wait for the likes of the Tommy Robinsons anymore. Because they're not there for us. And maybe, even if they were, how long is it going to take before we lose more children, more elderly, more loved ones at the hands of the criminals that are running the country? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. How much more of this madness are we going to put up with? In what world is it okay to go to school and be assaulted? Sexually assaulted? In what world do we live in? Are we like a frigging third world country where we have no education, no etiquette, no manners, no knowledge? Is this what we're living in? Because this is what it's coming to. And I want to know something, right? That 14-year-old girl, and you guys want to talk to me about this, right? What she went through. And it was covered on GB News. And they don't like covering it. Obviously, the main news won't cover this. And she was, a few men, from another country had their way with her. You know, I want to know. People say, oh, trust God, trust Jesus. Where were they? Where were they? You want to talk to me about Jesus and God and giving yourself to Jesus and God. Where was he and where was Jesus when this little girl was going through what she went through? Are you just going to stop and say, I just give myself to Jesus and I trust God to do the right thing? Or are you going to now start standing up and doing something about it? Because he's not here. They are not here to fight for you. They gave you everything you need to stand up and fight. And the only way I know how to do this right now is by speaking up and putting myself out there and making connections with people and trying to bring people together. It's very hard trying to do that, but speaking up and taking the risk of putting myself out there to be attacked, to be ridiculed, but I have to speak about it. Don't come at me with God, with Jesus, with trusting the Bible, trusting that, you know, they've got this in hand when there are children being abused at the hands of the criminals that are being let in by the criminals that are running this country. And you are pleading with these criminals. You are pleading with them to their better nature to do the right thing for you and your children when they only do the right thing for themselves. And they're sitting there asking you to go fund them, raise this money, raise that money. I mean, you know, seriously, everyone is in dire straits right now. But the biggest problem we've got is we are being run by a bunch of criminals. We are allowing criminals to let criminals in. We are having our elderly. There's another disabled case tomorrow in Sheffield. Another couple. The man is on... I can't remember what the problem with him is, but he's got some form of life-limiting, illness. I think it's a condition which he hasn't got long, Elderly couple, and he's been evicted. The MP can't do anything because they appealed to the MP's better nature. Of course, they don't have nature. They don't have it because they can't use their better nature. They can't use their emotions because they're not working for you. They're working for a corporation that only serves the interest of the public, and the public is the business. You are not important to them. You are just a business. And they're flooding our country. They're flooding us, Europe being flooded with these people to cause chaos, to cause destruction, to cause hate. So you hate that Muslim, you hate that Christian, you hate that Jew, when the reality is, it's all done by design, and we need to start focusing and pointing our energy to the real culprits here. And it's not the Muslim next door, or the Christian next door, or the Jew down the road. It is the people running the show, every single member of government. They are puppets. And the sooner you sink this through your head, it doesn't matter who is there, they're not going to be there unless they're allowed to be there, because this is the plan. Yeah, they're not going to be there. They're not going to act for you unless they are allowed to do it. Because no one is going to allow someone to go against the business. Yeah, no way. You have a mafia running the world. So how much more are we going to take? If we need to do something, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. All I know is that my will, my soul, my energy tells me, enough. But this needs to stop. This needs to stop, because the same way that I was willing to die, not to take that jab because I knew what it was, matter of life and death, it's the same way I am not willing to live under these criminals and put up with innocent girls, innocent victims, innocent elderly being evicted, molested, assaulted. How much more, really, are you willing to take? Are you going to keep putting money that's fake? Money has the value you give it. That's it. You are giving money the value. A £10 note probably takes, not even a quarter of a penny to make. But you give it that £10 value because you've been brainwashed to give it that £10 value. And then because you're giving it that value supersedes the value of someone's life. Because your work, your business, your employment, your mortgage, your cars, your finance, your private schooling takes over the right to live in a peaceful country, the right to be able to protect yourself, the right to own your right to land, the right to have a home and never feel like you be evicted. And we have to fight these corporations. And by the time you fight them, you've lost everything. And then there's people like the good people out there that have feet on the ground trying to stop these bully boys being evicted. Like evicting the innocent people. And we literally have a country run, not just do we have the influx of immigrants, but we've got brainwashed idiots evicting old people with cancer. That lady slept in her van outside of the house all night. I don't know where she is now. This story needs to come out. This story about that lady needs to come out. Do you know what? Richard Vobes, cover it. Everyone that's got a platform, cover it, spread it. In what world do we live in? What country is this if we allow our elderly with cancer in their 60s to be evicted? By the way, she paid all her mortgage. She paid the mortgage. She got evicted because of council tax. One of the most fraudulent, it's not a debt, it's a demand. One of the most fraudulent demands, which goes against your human rights. It puts you in slavery. You don't have a choice. And what world do we live in where we no longer have a choice? She paid it all. And they bankrupted her over council tax. So, what can we do? What can we do? Come on, because also it seems that everything we do falls in line with what they want us to do. Yeah, it seems that whatever move we make, we're playing straight into their hands. And if we go through the courts, it takes so long. The courts are corrupt. They're so corrupt, you're not going to get justice. Yeah, so whatever we do, we're playing straight into their web. So what can we do? Come on, let's put our minds together. Let's put our critical thinking brain together. Don't sit there and say you need to pay your bills. You need to be a good little slave. You need to send your child to school. And your girls, your daughters need to have that little red card when they're on their cycles to show the teacher, Miss, I'm on my cycle. Can I go to the toilet? How degrading is that for a woman? For a girl, how degrading. Look, think about the brainwashing. The indoctrination that they're doing to these children. That girls have to carry a red card to show that they are on their cycle so that they can be allowed to go to the toilet. And the toilets are all locked. In what world are we living in? One thing that's good is there's a massive increase of parents taking their children out of school. Keep doing it. That's what I can say. Keep doing it. We do not want them in their system. We do not want our children conditioned to live in an open prison and ask for permission to have a pee. Do your children have to ask for permission at home? Do they have to come to you and say, look, mum, dad, on my cycle, can I go to the toilet, please? Is this what we've come to? That they have to let everybody know? You don't realise the damage you're causing to your children by sending them to school. I've been informed. You can contact me if you like. Okay? I've been informed that it might be a good idea, and there are some people that are toying with this idea, that we all get together and we start going to deliver leaflets locally to where these people live, okay? The bailiffs, the locksmiths, the whatever, yeah? I've got to be very careful what I say, but to deliver these leaflets to all the neighbours, to let them know what these neighbours of theirs are doing. So if you think that's a great idea, please join, please message us. Let's start to form something. Women, come on, come on. It is very clear that us women have got bigger bollocks right now. We can do this, yeah, because we've got the love, the maternal love for our children, for humanity, for everyone else. Whatever men there's left in this world right now, in this country, yeah, come on, you've still got bollocks. Let's get together. Let's do something. Come on, yeah. We need mass numbers. This lady needs to get back in her house. It's only going to happen with the 300. Okay, that's the only way we are going to get this woman back in her house, with the 300, because there's 5 security men there and 3 dogs. And I, for one, do not sit well or sleep well knowing that this lady who's got stage 4 cancer cannot be in her home. So we need people coming together. We need groups, more groups. We have got groups right now, but we need more groups coming together, organising it, because we cannot have this happen. Listen, it's down to us. It's down to us. Forget your MPs. Forget your council tax going to court. Look how long it's taken, nearly 2 years. And where are we? Where are we? What have we done? Well, we're going to their courts. They're fake courts to try and prove I don't need to pay council tax. In the meantime, we've got people like this vulnerable woman being evicted. So guess what? It's not going to work in a court. It's down to us, the people, the everyday people that are willing to put ourselves out on the line, feet on the ground, and get these people back in their homes. It's time for us to come together, get our heads together, and find a way to protect what is ours, our children. If you've got cancer, you don't pay cancer. I think it was an old debt. It was an old debt. And she was targeted, okay? She was targeted. This isn't a normal case. That lady, we believe, was targeted because she's a counsellor, ex-counsellor, and she knew things. We've got people, right, that are being told on benefits what you can and can't spend your money on. Yes, she was definitely targeted. Now, there are people on Telegram that want to create these groups, okay, and they want to go to the area, the neighbours of the locksmiths, of the bailiffs, of whatever, to their area. And distribute leaflets. That's within your right to do so. You're not targeting anyone. You're making people aware of who's living nearby. You're making people aware that you have a neighbour that is willing to evict without mercy, without emotion, without having a better nature, all for money. Money, the value of money, seriously. That's what you're doing it for. That's what you're doing it for. You know, you are disgusting, despicable. I don't even want to say, yeah, you're not human. You know, I'm not even going to call you a snake, because actually snakes are better than you, okay? And what you're doing, I'm not even going to say, seriously, because I can't. You were there, Dave, yeah, and it was nasty, and this is what they do. And they were massive. There were lots of guys there. For a first attempt, this was a target. But unless we have numbers, unless we have people supporting each other, feet on the ground, we need to start taking our rights back. We need to start forming groups. I don't care what you believe in. You know, I don't care, you know, if you believe in God, Jesus, whatever. Don't sit there doing nothing. I don't care if you believe in flat earth, you don't. I don't care if you're a straw man believer, if you believe in Constitution, if you're gay, straight. I don't give a rat's ass. What we need is all of us to come together. We can argue later. We need to come together right now for the sake of the elderly, for the sake of the children, for the sake of this country, communities, justice, fairness. We need to restore the balance of natural law. And we are not going to do that while we have people running the country that are not there for us, that are there for the biggest agenda that comes out of Israel. Okay? We are not going to do that. And this is why I say anyone that supports Israel supports the agenda, because it all comes out of there. So I don't want to argue with my neighbours. We've gone past that. Yeah, whether you've been vaccinated, you haven't, I don't care. We tried to protect you. You know, people learn. If you don't hear, you must feel. That's the law, isn't it? We've got bigger fish to fry now. And we have got bigger fish to fry. We need to be there for our children and the elderly. Richard, yeah. You know, I just cannot believe that we've come to this. We've got tomorrow, Sheffield, guys, if you can make it, if it goes ahead, please. I'll post a link, a newspaper article. Tomorrow, eviction of another elderly couple. Really? Come on, seriously. Oh yeah, we apparently live longer now, but are we actually living? Are we actually living when we're being evicted from the very homes we spent our whole lives in? This is disgusting. No one should be evicted from their homes. No one should have to give up their home. I don't care how old you are. Your home should be your home for life unless you choose to move. You should never be at the mercy of thinking, oh my God, if I don't pay this, if I don't pay that, if I don't meet the bills, oh, I'm going to lose my home, and you're stressing. No one should have to live like this. Not in this day and age. No one should be without electric, gas, water, warmth, a roof over their head, security. This is what we've come to. And it's not acceptable. And it's not acceptable. So my question is, how much more are you willing to take before you do something about it? That's my question. Bye for now.
Research flatters.